Kung hindi po nag-umpisa ang investigasyon na ito, magkakaroon po ba kayo ng oportunidad or initiative na makipag-coordinate sa DA pertaining to the continuing price increase of rice, to be particular? And you've been in operation since 2016.
Office was started in 2016, and then the rules in 2017, and then the hiring.
With all
and
due
then-
respect
yeah.
to PCC, but I find this so frustrating.
Yes, Your Honor.
And if I may add, the PCC should be proactive. You should be reaching out to the Department of Agriculture because you know for a fact that you have the mandate to address the uncontrollable prices of basic commodities. Tama po ba?
Yes.
Do you confirm that? Na bago pa man magtanim, bayad na ang harvest.
Mr. Chair, actually hindi yung presyo ang tanong ko eh. Kung meron bang sindikato dito, kaya patuloy na tumataas ang presyo. Baka mamaya.
Ang hirap naman no na kasama mo ba kayo sa sindikato?
Hindi ko wala kami ng sindikato. Kasi matanda na ako eh. Bakit mag-sindikato pa ako?
Alam, what I mean, Mr. Chair.
May I yield the chairmanship to the more Of course, Congresswoman, my good friend, my best friend in Ways and Means, always absent na, Beatrix Luistro, and of course, Arlene Brosas. So, may I recognize Congressman Luistro?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Then we start with the second round.
Mr. Chair, I wish to direct my question to the Philippine Competition Commission. This representation is inclined to believe that when there is fair competition, the prices go down. And by the very name of the office, Mr. Chair,
Okay.
Philippine Competition Commission, I believe that among all offices here, it is the PCC's mandate to really look into the lowering of prices of basic commodities. In fact, Mr. Chair, I'm a bit surprised that mayroon palang Philippine Competition Commission. So, may we hear from PCC? Ano po ba ang inyong mandato? And what so far have we done with the seeming uncontrollable price of basic commodities is concerned, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, the mandate of the PCC is a quasi-judicial body mandated to implement the Philippine Competition Act that prohibits anti-competitive agreements. So ito yung mga cartel na sinasabi natin. Abuse of dominance, ibig sabihin yung malalaking mga negosyo ay inaabuso po nila yung kanilang kapangyarihan para, for example, maalis ang mga maliliit na competitors sa merkado. At saka yung last po ay prohibit the anti-competitive mergers and acquisition. Ito yung mga bilihan ng mga negosyo na ang piniprevent natin po dito ay magkaroon ng monopoly sa merkado po.
Mr. Chair, may we ask whether this PCC is an independent office or under any of the agencies of the Philippine government?
We are currently under the Office of the President for administrative supervision po.
You are under the
office,
OP?
the OP po.
I heard that you have this
Attached.
quasi-judicial authority.
That's correct,
So
Madam.
I wish to believe that the more that you are powerful to infuse the necessary counter interventions and control the increase of prices of basic commodities. Can you please, may we know, kailan pa po ba nag-umpisa itong PCC?
The PCC was established in 2016 po. February. Yes
2016.
po.
May we know who is the head of PCC?
Currently, it's Attorney Michael Aguinaldo po.
Attorney Michael
Aguinaldo.
Aguinaldo. And as far as our resource person is concerned, ano po bang ating engagement, participation, position sa PCC?
Ako po ay Executive Director po. ng
Since
PCC.
when have you been connected with the PCC?
I was first engaged by the PCC as I was seconded to PCC in 2016.
Since
Then,
2016?
Yes po.
Okay. I am curious, PCC, no? Since 2016, tayo po ba ay mayroon ng natanggalan ng lisensya, na ipakulong na mga operators ng rice cartel?
Mi- Nandito po yung Director ng Enforcement Office namin po.
Kanina po when Secretary Laurel was still here,
Yun po.
he is so challenged about the lack of the necessary power to control the prices, to go after all these cartels. And then I came across this material, the Philippine Competition Commission. May I ask, sir, do you have any coordination with the Department of Agriculture?
Dati po may mga refer sila sa amin na mga issue na sa competition issue.
When was the last time po na nag-coordinate sa inyo ang Department of Agriculture?
During the past administration pa po.
Past administration, which means that since 2022, under the new administration, wala pa pong coordination at all between PCC and Department of Agriculture. You confirm that?
Yes, and this because of this hearing, Madam Congresswoman, they requested for a dialogue po sa amin.
Okay, so
Kay-
let me go back to 2016, if that is the case, no? Very encompassing po yung sinabi niyong quasi-judicial power. For the understanding of the Filipino people, sir, ano po yung mga ginawa na ng PCC to be able to get rid, control, and prevent the prevalence of rice cartel, to be specific?
Meron po kaming nakasuhan na trader miller na po.
May we know how many cases have you filed?
Isa po sa rice.
Since 2016, isa lang po.
Yes po. Pero meron na kaming kinandak po ng starting 2018 about rice. Kailang wala po kaming nakita dong issue.
Ano
Na-
po yung 2018?
Yung increase din po ng prices ng rice.
How many companies did you investigate in 2018?
Sino ba yun? Mr. Chair, can I request the enforcement director because he knows all the details po.
Mr. Chair, let's allow the director, please.
Good afternoon, Chair and honorable members of the committee. So in relation to rice and agricultural products, we have actually conducted 3 investigations.
Three, that is
yes,
since
in-
2016.
Yes, Your Honor, because in 2016, there was no office yet. So we only started operations around end of 2017.
Okay, so you operated 2017 to 2021,
Yes.
I suppose.
Yes.
Because earlier it was admitted that since 2022, since the new administration assumed, there's been no coordination with the Department of Agriculture.
Ah.
Sir, would you agree with me? Kayo ang hinahanap ni Secretary Laurel.
Uh,
Ang nawawalang enforcement power ng Department of Agriculture?
Qualified, yes, Your Honor, because if it comes to competition matters, that would be us. But if it's about pricing, regulation, registrations, licensing, that's beyond
But
our
of course, you
jurisdiction.
will agree with me that the pricing and the licensing has something to do as well with the prevalence of cartel, rice cartel in the
It has-
Philippines, to be specific.
It contributes, Your Honor, but we don't have that licensing power. What we do is investigate and then we prosecute, like what we did in the onion case, Your Honor.
Precisely. Kasi ang sabi po kanina ni Secretary Laurel, kami na po ang magfa-file
Mhm.
kung walang ibang opisinang gumawa nito. Ibig sabihin, the DA is very much challenged
Mhm.
in as far as the necessary quasi-judicial power is concerned. And only to realize later na mayroon palang Philippine Competition Commission. Yun pong hinahanap na kapangyarihan ni Secretary Laurel of the Department of Agriculture today rightfully belongs to your office. And I feel that I am in the proper position to demand, what have you done so far?
Yes, Your Honor. So, as I mentioned, Your Honor, in 2018, when there was a price spike in rice, we investigated that at around 10 or more entities were investigated. However, when we finished our investigation, we concluded that the price spike was caused by the untimely arrival of imports. So that was the 2018 case. And then
May we know how many companies you investigated in 2018?
it's around 8 to 10 companies, Your Honor.
8 to 10 companies.
Yes, Your
Kanina po ang sabi nung ating first representative ng PCC, there was one case
That's
which
in 2019, Your Honor. So parallel to that case, we received information from the Honorable Chair of this commission, of this committee, that there were complaints about low buying price in the province of Albay. So we took it upon our selves to investigate that, and that led to a prosecution of a dominant miller. So yung pong pambabarat na nangyayari in that area was prosecuted.
what year was that?
That started in 2019 and the case was filed in 2023.
And
2023.
2019, and then you were
Mhm.
able to file the case when?
2023.
2023?
Yes, Your Honor.
It took you 4 years to be able to file the case?
There was an intervening pandemic, Your Honor, and we had to make our case economically sound, legally sound also, Your Honor. We
Yes.
wanted not to file a case that would.
But I
just-
hope you realize that when we speak about prices of the basic commodities, we're talking about social justice here.
Yes, Your Honor. That's why the case that
Karapatan.
we filed was preventing a big miller from pambabarat.
I do not understand at all why a case you started investigating in 2019 will be filed after 4 years in 2023.
Yes, Your Honor, because we also follow a process in the office, and this is an economic case, Your Honor. So we conducted a market survey, the pricing mechanism in that area, the relevant market. So it's a little bit complicated, Your Honor. I know it takes some time, even in the
May we
US.
know how many people are working under the PCC?
In my office, I have 12 investigators, Your Honor.
12. Are they all lawyers?
No, Your Honor.
Nonetheless, they have legal background?
Some, Your Honor.
Yes. Aside from the 12 investigators, how many people else are working at PCC?
Uh, 120,
120?
190, Your Honor.
190?
That consists of economists and lawyers and investigators, Your Honor. Not just the investigatory or the enforcement office.
In other words, you have 190 plus 20
That's
lawyers?
already included, Your Honor.
190 in
Including
total.
yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I just want to express my frustration that having this Philippine Competition Commission since 2016, they were able to file only one case. And the one in 2018 was not even filed.
Your Honor, I was not yet finished. We also filed the onion case just recently.
So how many
So
cases all in
in-
all?
In relation to agriculture, we have 3 cases that was concluded, and 2 led to a filing of
Ito po bang
of
onion
cases.
case na sinasabi nyo is as an offshoot result of the inquiry in aid of legislation that was conducted also by the Committee on Food and Agriculture?
That was in relation to that, Your Honor. So when it
I
happened,
wonder if the Congress did not initiate that investigation, if you will be pursuing those onion smugglers.
at that time, Your Honor, when the Food and Agri Committee conducted the investigation, we were also already conducting the investigation.
So can you please give us a summary?
of-
Total number of cases you filed since 2016.
I can only answer for the enforcement office, Your Honor, around
Why? Is there any other office under
Yes, Your
PCC
Honor.
which file cases?
The Mergers and Acquisitions Office also reviews
Mergers and
and Acquisitions
Acquisition
Office.
Office. But I don't think that that has something to do with the rice cartel.
It does, Your Honor, if it comes to mergers, Your Honor.
Yes, but this does not pertain to the merger and consolidation. Tama ba?
Not, Your Honor.
We're talking about price
Yes, Your Honor.
manipulation here.
Mhm.
So in as far as cases related to price manipulation, cartels are concerned, ilan po in total ang
We have 10
naifile?
cases, Your Honor.
10 cases. And you've been in operation since 2016.
Office was started in 2016, and then the rules in 2017, and then the hiring.
With all
and
due
then-
respect
yeah.
to PCC, but I find this so frustrating.
Yes, Your Honor.
And if I may add, the PCC should be proactive. You should be reaching out to the Department of Agriculture because you know for a fact that you have the mandate to address the uncontrollable prices of basic commodities. Tama po ba?
Yes.
Do you confirm that? And without this investigation, you will not be able to coordinate for the very first time with the Department of Agriculture under the new administration, as earlier represented. Kung hindi po nag-umpisa ang investigasyon na ito, magkakaroon po ba kayo ng oportunidad or initiative na makipag-coordinate sa DA pertaining to the continuing price increase of rice, to be particular?
Actually, Your Honor, even before this, we are already talking to the DA, especially my office, the enforcement office. So we have been talking to Yusek Asis Perez. We actually wanted to talk to them
Because-
earlier, Your Honor.
If you were listening to Secretary Laurel kanina, he's sounding so helpless about having no enforcement power with respect to the price control when you have this Philippine Competition Commission which even have this quasi judicial power. So I hope you realize how huge the power that was given by the law to PCC is. You should be at the forefront of this challenge that the Philippine government is facing right now. Do you confirm that?
Yes, Your Honor. And we
So-
will,
Just to wrap
Note
up,
that.
Mr. Chair, my questions with the PCC. I am requesting, this representation is requesting for an accomplishment report of the PCC since 2016 up to the present time.
we will submit, Your Honor.
May we know when will you be able to submit the same?
Next Tuesday.
Thank you, Chair. We'll submit next Tuesday.
Next-
Mr. Chair, I wish to proceed with the DA. Has it come to your attention already na mayroon pong mga magsasaka, farmers, even before planting their seeds, bayad na ng capitalist yung kanilang harvest?
Ang pagkakaalam ko po sa practice ay ang mga may-ari po ng rice mill would provide in areas where they buy palay, yung pong financing.
Yes, that is true.
And then kapag ka po naman magbibilihan na ng palay, sa kanila po binebenta.
Kasi po, kaya ko po ito dinanong, if we are going to allow this situation ng ating individual farmers are relying solely on their capitalist or the millers, as you have said, it is no longer the farmers who are dictating the farm gate price. Tama po ba? Yun pong chain in between the farmers and the millers nawala na. Because the farmers and the millers or the capitalist has turned into the same personality already. And suffice it to say, wala na pong kapangyarihan ang isang farmer na magpresyo ng kanyang palay if at the very first place, hindi pa naitatanim, bayad na ang harvest.
Kung pwede po ako mag-elaborate ng konti. Ang relasyon po ng magpapalay at ng rice miller sa totoong buhay ay, I would say, mutually beneficial to a certain extent. Lalong-lalo na kung ang available lamang na produkto ay palay na lokal. Sapagkat marami namang rice mill, pagka mura ang bili mo, pupunta lang ako sa kabilang rice mill. Pero kung ang rice mill po ay may option na bumili sa iba, then tama po kayo na mawawala yung bargaining power ng farmer. Example, if the only available supply of palay is local supply, which is about 90%, then it is a supply side yung may handle ng presyo. Pero kung meron pang ibang available sources, kagaya halimbawa po ng palay galing sa labas, nandun na po ngayon yung nawawala po yung bargaining power ng farmer. So that's what happened as we observed in the recent years.
Mr. Chair, I wish to request our resource speaker to confine his answer to the context of the question. Ang farmers po natin walang resources, walang kapital. So he is at the mercy of the capitalist. Kaya po na-create yung scenario na bago pa man magtanim, bayad na ang harvest. Technically speaking, totally lost ang bargaining power ng farmer. Let me proceed to the next question, sir. Given this situation,
Sayang ng tanong. PCC, how would you define contract farming in the context of the countervailing powers, in the context of market competition?
Contract farming, Your Honor, would appear to be
In other words,
Mhm.
the farmer still has the choice to go into the contract, you mean?
if the farmer is already indebted, Your Honor, then that he loses his agency or power not to engage with you anymore.
Are there laws preventing contract farming?
As far as I know, there's no.
Do you think it's against competition policy?
Only if it consists of an abuse of dominance, Your Honor, like the big miller imposing on small farmers, that's under Section 15G or yung pambabarat, Your Honor. But otherwise,
Anyway, this is not the last of it, but sayang naman ng points niya. Anyway, you can continue.
may we know from DA, ano po ba ang intervention na ginagawa na or pwedeng gawin ng ating gobyerno in order to save our individual farmers from similar scenario?
Ito pong mga ito pong ginagawa natin, marami po tayong iba-ibang intervention. Una-una po, naglagay po tayo ng mas maraming resources pambili ng palay ng ating mga magsasaka.
But of course, we know that it's not only palay that is needed. Sabi po kanina ni Secretary, kailangan ng fertilizer, napakamahal ng fertilizer.
Opo,
we,
yun
we,
po.
we wanted these individual farmers, the ones who have no capital, to be able to stand on their own
Opo.
so that they will maintain this bargaining power to impose the price of palay
Opo.
at the farm gate.
Opo. So, isa lang po yon. Una, kasi para nga po may kalaban po yung rice mill, naglagay po tayo ng more resources now to enable NFA to buy local rice. Yun po yung isa. Pangalawa po, dinagdagan din po natin yung pondo natin para po sa fertilizer support. Meron din po tayong dagdag na pondo para po sa pagbibigay ng binhi at sa ilalim po ng bagong rice tarification law, lumaki po yung pondo para dito. Ngayon po meron na tayong hindi. Yung how much is the RTL now? The budget? No, the current budget po annual ng rice tarification law which was just signed by the President is 30 billion. So malaki pong pondo yon na magagamit natin na pangdagdag puhunan po sa ating mga magsasaka.
I understand, sir. But I hope that we are responding to the proper recipients. So that leads to my other question. Tayo po ba ay may data kung sino itong mga farmers who totally lack the necessary resources? Kanina pa po natin ginagamit yung term na farmers eh. But actually, I want to classify the farmers into one which has resources and another which has no resources. Yun pong walang resources, may data po ba tayo nito?
Meron po. Yun nga po, makaklasify natin po yung rice farmer. Ang tawag po kanina ni Secretary, strong rice farmers and those who are weak.
Weak.
Apo. So yun po yung ginamit na term. And so mahalaga po yung targeted intervention because our limited resources, as I mentioned already kanina, should be focused helping the farmers who needs help. Those who are relatively, for lack of better term, weaker than stronger ones.
And may I ask, ilang percent po ba yung weak farmers ng total farmers?
Sa
we-
ngayon po, ma'am, Mr. Chair, to be perfectly honest with you, we do not have those numbers. But that is why our program now is focused on what we call getting granular information from the ground. This is
PSA, are you here? Wala na PSA?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
How many farms have
Farmers.
more than 3 hectares? How many farmers have more than 3 hectares?
We have to check the data from, if
Akala ko nandyan yung sa mga ganun mo.
we have to check the data with the Census of Agriculture and Fisheries, Mr. Chair. But for the surveys, we don't have that data.
Because that would clearly delineate who are the small farmers and the weak farmers. Anyway, since you don't have it, you can continue. Huwag ka lang mambola, ha?
No, sir. This is truly.
You
Kaya nga
are
po,
in-
ang
You keep
mapapansin
using adjectives.
po
Yeah,
nyo,
why don't you just describe them by their
Mr. Chair.
quantitative and empirical, ano?
yes. Kaya nga po, ang amin pong support ay nakalimitado po doon sa mga maliliit ang lupa.
Yun.
So, kanyari po, ang rice farmer po ay 2 hektarya pababa, doon po binibigay yung mga suporta. Hindi po sa lahat.
Mr. Chair, this is actually a question. Does it necessarily follow na kapag malaki yung lupa, strong farmers sila? At kapag maliit ang lupa, weak farmers sila?
That is one of the parameters. Kasi po minsan po, hindi po yun lamang ang basihan. Kasi halimbawa, malapad yung lupa mo, kaya lang yung lupa mo walang irigasyon. So relatively, you're not as good or as strong as the 2-hectare farmer with an irrigation. So kaya po hindi lang po yung lupa, kundi pati yung presence of irrigation facilities. And also, the presence of yung mas malapit ka ba sa Maynila o mas malapit ka ba sa pagdadalhan mo ng gamit, so ng produkto mo. So that has to be included in the entire parameters.
Mr. Chair, to wrap up this point,
Ay, salamat.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
to wrap up this point, I wish to request the Department of Agriculture to submit to the committee the data on the number of strong vis-a-vis weak farmers and the parameters which are being used to be able to classify the same. Mr. Chair, can I proceed to my next question? Last two, very quick. Very, very quick, Mr. Chair.
Wala ka sa listahan.
I am in the list, the last interpellator for the first round.
Bigla nagsulputan.
Mr. Chair, this will be very quick. Please allow this representation.
Yes. Please proceed.
DA, please. Kanina po na pag-usapan ng irrigation, I was able to verify for myself dun po sa amin, 2nd District of Batangas, 2021. Napakarami po ng solar irrigation project na hindi nag-function. As a matter of fact, wala pong napakinabangan. May we know if there are interventions or measures that were employed by the Department of Agriculture
Binabagalan.
to rehabilitate, kung tama po ba yung terminology rehabilitate, when the system has never been used.
Kanina. Wala akong co-chair.
Have you come across that information, DA?
Marami pong na-report na hindi lang po solar irrigation but other support facilities. And we are now in the process of doing the inventory. In fact, ano nga po yung pong ibang mga solar irrigation projects na yon, mukhang hindi ho nalagay sa tamang lugar kasi walang tubig.
May we just request for a report on that as well? And last question, sir. When we talk about food and agriculture, we need land. Tama po ba?
Yes, yes, Madam Chair.
And of course, we are aware, marami pong agricultural land ang nako-convert into industrial and commercial. Ano po ba ang ginagawa natin to make sure that we reserve the necessary amount of land, agricultural land, to secure the food and agriculture of our nation?
Sang-ayon po sa APMA, kinakailangan magdeklara tayo ng mga strategic agriculture.
You said AGMA?
APMA po, APMA.
APMA.
APMA. Kailangan po
What does
tayo,
it stand for, APMA?
Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act, which is more than 20 years law. Kailangan meron po tayong ilagay na Strategic Agriculture and Fisheries Area o SAPDCs. Kung saan ang mga SAPDCs na ito ay kinakailangang ma-preserve at ma-protect as agricultural areas.
So what are we doing about the mandate of the law?
That particular law, Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, is part of the backlog that the DA is currently working on. Ito po hindi halos na implement. And so this...
May we know which specific office of the DA is in charge to look after the implementation of that law? APMA.
It's a combination po of the local government unit. Ang mandated po kasi nito, local government and our BSWM.
What is BSWM?
That is the Bureau of Soils and Water Management po.
May we request, Mr. Chair, that we invite the head of BSWM on the next hearing? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Comsec.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Just administrative matters lang. Very quick. May I just know if the representative of King B is here?
Tinakot nyo kahapon eh.
Hindi, they committed that they will. I clearly told him to be present today. So paki-check po. And then the representative of Bikram, Mr. Vic Angeles, paki-locate po kung po pwede po, Mr. Chair.
Okay, the
And
page.
G4 is here. Welcome back, sir.
Sino yan?
G4.
G4.
Mr. Chair.
After Jinky, may I call on Congressman Amante? Then, baka magalit ito si ano sa akin. Ang nakalihis sa listahan is Amante, Palma, Kimbo because you left. And then Brosas, and then Brosas left. So after Kimbo, it is Revilla. You're the last. And then second round you. Okay, may now recognize Loreto Amante of San Pablo City.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, alam po ninyo talagang sobra-sobra na ang paghihirap ng mga kababayan nating mga maralitang Pilipino. Napakaganda ng EO 62 na layunin ay mapababa ang presyo ng bigas.
Yun lang ka nakakabit.
Subalit, may mga iilan na mapangsamantala at inabuso ang EO 62. Madaming nakisawsaw kung kaya hindi ho naramdaman ng ordinaryong mga Pilipino ang pagbaba ng bigas. Kagaya po ng nasabi kanina ng Federation of Free Farmers na si Kagalang-galang Raul Montemayor. Wag ho kayong mag-alala. Dito po sa Quinta Committee, siguradong may gugulong ang ulo dito. Dahil sobra-sobra ng pahirap ng mga ilang ahensya, ng mga ilang individual sa ating mga kababayan. Kaya naman po, Mr. Chair, kanina si Senator Erwin Tulfo o Congressman Erwin Tulfo, sinabi niya na sana hanggat sa madaling panahon ay maibaba ang presyo ng bigas. Subalit, madaming mga paligoy-ligoy, madaming mga paikot-ikot ang mga ilang ahensya. Alam po ninyo, Mr. Chair, meron ng computation ang NEDA kung magkano ang dapat ibaba. At gayon din, ay nasambitin kanina ni Ginoong Raul Montemayor kung magkano ang dapat ibaba ng presyo ng bigas. Kaya naman po, Mr. Chair, dapat yung computation na dapat ibaba ng bigas sa merkado ay dapat maipatupad na bilang papasko at pabagong taon natin sa ating mga kababayan. Kaya naman, Mr. Chair, nais po nating tanungin ang DA, ang DTI, kung posible ba na maibaba agad ang presyo ng bigas sa lalong madaling panahon. Dahil may computation na naman, madami lang nakisawsaw ng mga tao, madami lang nakisawsaw na mapagsamantalang mga importer, wholesaler, at gayon din ang mga retailer.
DTI, do you still deny that you have regulatory powers over a processed commodity like rice?
Mr. Chair, I stand
I'm
by
not
that.
talking about palay. I'm talking about rice.
Mr. Chair, yes, it's really clear in the law, in the Price Act, and it's IRR that rice is under DA. Even if we could recommend.
Can you cite that for finality?
Mr. Chair, it's under Section 3 of RA 7581. And under Section 1, Rule 2 of its IRR.
Please read.
Under Section 3, Mr. Chair, number 3, implementing agency means the department, agency, or office of the government which has jurisdiction over a basic necessity or prime commodity as defined in this act, which shall be the Department of Agriculture, with reference to agricultural crops, fish and other marine products, fresh meat, poultry, and dairy products, fertilizer, and other farm inputs. In the IRR, Section 1, Rule 2, powers and functions of implementing agencies. Section 1, the implementing agencies enumerated in Rule 1, Section 1, Paragraph 3 thereof shall have jurisdiction over commodities enumerated hereunder. Number 1, Department of Agriculture. Letter A, basic necessities. First bullet, rice.
First bullet, rice.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Basic necessities, number 3.
Mr. Chair, what I read was in the IRR.
I know, I'm reading the IR too. But it doesn't say that number 4. Then rule 2.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Rule 2.
Kami ko sa kanina, rule 3. Can we make a differentiation between palay and rice? Because we are ipit by the 2 RTLs.
Mr. Chair, I'm afraid I cannot, I do not have the sufficient authority or like the expertise, Mr. Chair, to differentiate between, I
Then
may know what it is, but
Suggestion ko na lang sa inyo, can you go back to 509, Republic Act? It has not been repealed, neither by the 2 RTLs, where you can intervene into markets. Nasaan na ba yun? Oh, ano yun? Please. Hindi, nabubisit na si baka mawalan tayo ng jeep. Sa Manteng. Hindi, yung batas. Alam naman ng gobyerno, walang ka-power if there's already abuse and it is killing people. Liner, what is the annual losses arising from malnutrition?
If it's economic losses, Mr. Chair, it's around 416 billion a year.
You don't call that crisis? The lack of regulatory agency for rice? Is creating economic losses of 416 billion. That malnutrition and the lack of regulatory agency with respect to the sudden surge of rice prices has an annual cost economic losses of 416 billion. And then this government is totally helpless. But where's the law? Can you please just go back to this law and write an IRR for all I care? Yeah. We found a law that has not yet been expressly repealed by any of our price acts or RTLs. EO 184, Series 1948, and RA 509 on the rice emergency. So can you just look at that? RA 509, it's all there. If I read this is long. And then can I be advised by the wisdom of Yusek Ordonez with respect what Congress can do or what the government can do?
Yes, I would like to state that I speak from experience. Under President Ramos, this happened and we used power. Let me tell you what source we used. I helped write the laws. Basically, when you talk about 10%, it is prima facie evidence to catch someone. However, there's another part of the law which we used with Mr. Ramos. And it happened, remember? Mr. Ramos came in and Wade came in. We caught a lot of people that went down. Right now, let me say how we did it. First of all, to me, this government should act. I even have a sheet here based on the information of Mr. Montemayor. I speak as the chairman of Alianza Agricultura. I was undersecretary of DTI, undersecretary of DA, and the secretary under President Ramos to do all the flagship programs. This was the flagship program. So let me tell you what it is. Today, I have in my hand the numbers of Mr. Montemayor, whom I work closely with. Let me tell you what's happening, all right? What's happening is that the wholesale, you ask the NBI to look at the numbers. I already have the numbers from Mr. Montemayor, right? Let me tell you what it is. The price imported is 38. They should have the regular margin of 5 to 7. I use the average 6 pesos. The retailer should get 4 to 5. He's getting 6. So we have the answer. The price is 49. Why is it correct? Not only is it correct, from my computation of landed price all the way down, incidentally, I headed cement in 6 countries. I'm a cement man, but I was also trained. I had also warrant for arrest for subversion, but I was not a communist. But I've been through this. I'm with the farmers, and it's 49. What is it today? It's 56. I'll tell you why it's 56. I'll tell you who's making the money. I'll tell you who's making the money. It's not the farmers, okay? Using the prices I just got from this fellow here, my friend, okay? He already told you today, all right? He told you today very clearly that the price in NFA dry is it come out to 27.45, correct? And he said at 27.45, it will translate to 48.50. Guess what? That is exactly what I have. I have 49, which is the rounded number of 48.51. So let me tell you what it is, all right? First of all, the 5 to 7 pesos is not being used. That's a lot of money. You know what they're making? They're making 12 pesos. They should be screwed, right? The wholesaler must be screwed, okay? I also have experience with competition commission.
Screwed is parliamentary language.
I'm sorry, they should be punished.
No, it's okay.
Okay,
It is.
right, okay. So instead of 5 to 7 or 6, he's making 12, all right? Now the retailer, instead of waiting 4 to 5, he's making 6, 1 peso lang. Yang wholesaler ang problema, hindi yung retailer. At kinompute mo yon, 56, voila, 56. That's exactly what we have today. So I'm telling you, I have all the numbers here. And if you tell me you're powerless, you are not powerless, all right? When President Ramos had me do this, even though I was DTI, but I know about this Palenque. I was Mr. Palenque, Mr. Roas, if you guys remember. I was there every day. What we do is this. The poor consumer goes, in some places, there are no price tags. Wherever there's no price tags, you can close them down immediately. You have that power. Because I talked to the mayors and all that. Anybody who does not follow law, you can close them down. I talked to Abalos and all that. Number one, all those with no price tag, catch them immediately. Once you catch them, the word spreads, and the next day everybody is there. All right? Okay, that's the first one. Once you have that, then you have to have the right price. Now, Mr. Dar is sort of, I don't agree. He gave a price that's totally ridiculous. Why? Because he's in DA. I was in DA. In DA, he just got a number, and I complained to Mr. Duterte. I said, Mr. Duterte, what's Mr. Dar doing? He's doing a price where everything will disappear from the market. And it happened. So what happened? He told Dar to change it. He increased by 2 pesos. How can that be? I was in the price council. I know the bottom to the right. His price control was here. Totally ridiculous, right? When he changed it, he made it here. It still didn't work. Why? Because DA and DTI should talk together. This production. They must understand this. And in the law, which I helped write from the executive, it says there that if DA is in charge of rice, you got to do the right thing, all right? So what am I saying? Number one, there are places where no price that they screw the guy, they're screwed. Okay, catch one, the rest will fall. Number two, once you do that, you get the right price. Now they tell me, Ernie, sardines is one thing. Rice is premium, well-milled and all that. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You've got to put the price, never mind the rich, never mind. It's the low income. So what price do I want? Every palenque must have all the price tags. I don't give it's 50 for the rich guys, but for the guys, it's 49. 49 is not only my computation from imported, it's also the computation of NFA. Magkatugma. They should put it there. Now, once that happens, this will happen. 49. First of all, palengke ka, right? You know, my friends are part of the cartel. I know cartel people. My cousin's part of a big cartel. You'll find that in Caloocan, one price, there is a cartel. You got to hit the cartel at the palengke. How you do that? Tomorrow, not Christmas, tomorrow or the next day or soon. You gave an order, right? You say, first of all, who on earth knows SRP? Nobody knows it, right? Well, I know it. It's 49 bucks. Okay? And before you do that, you call what we did in DTI. You don't talk to some bureaucrat. You talk to the retailer, the middleman, the manufacturer. That's what it is. Okay, that's the way to do it. I'm sure it's going to come out like that, but do it first. And then you come in and you say, we're going to implement the price tag, right? Okay. If you recall, price tag, DTI does it. DA does not do it, correct? DA does not do it. I'm the only one in the Philippines who's undersecretary of DTI, NDA, and an office of the president secretary. I know, right? So what you got to do is do it right, meet them, and say, here's the price. It is exactly 49. They can make it 46, 50. Number 2, price tag. No price, you'll get caught. Number 3, every palengke must have price tag. If you have a palengke with 50 TS, the lowest, you go there. You go there. Most probably, you can trace it from the farmer or the importer and all that. You know, this 49 I have assumes the price of 3 months imported. The unit went down last week. It can be lower, but we must protect the farmer. We must not go where the importers will screw us, correct? We want to help our farmers. So 49 bucks is exactly the computation with a low price. It may have gone down. But if you go lower than that and you give a price that fits the import, which is too low, you will not screw, but you will harm the farmers. Therefore, for me, ang ganyan ka na lang, don't go lower than that. Besides, at that price, it's exactly the price where you have everybody make money, where the wholesaler can make is 5 to 7 pesos instead of 12 because they're exploiting us. You go to the retailer, it gets 4 to 5. Tama na 1 peso, you can give it to him. But that's what I want. So if you tell me that you don't have the power, I disagree. Because we did it with Ramos, we can do it today. I'm sure of that. And I'd like to let you know, not only Allianz Agricultura, I'm the coordinator of 3 groups. 1, Allianz Agricultura, small farm folk. I'm an FFF guy before. I told FFF, my friend, keep away from me because we may be different, okay? But we're very close, right? But I want him to be independent. I don't want us to overturn him because we're more, right? 2, I am the coordinator of something called the Philippine Chamber of Food and Agriculture. It has 48 subsectors, malunggay, to pork and all that. Each one has a champion. 3, I'm with the UPLB Mafia. They call it Coalition for Agriculture. We do that too. So those 3, I'm the coordinator. I'm in touch with all 3. But I'm telling you, my expertise, outside of Xerox, worldwide except Asia, for 8 years, I had a warrant for arrest for subversion. They wouldn't let me come back. But I know when I came back, I went to farming. When I was kicked out because I caught corrupt people in the area, I was kicked out. Instead of kicking out the corrupt guy, they kicked me out. The corrupt guy, they promoted. So I left. I headed cement for 9 years. I'm back in agriculture. And I cannot tell you that I believe what you're doing here is fantastic. For the first time, confidential funds are being looked at. Thank God. Number 2, I believe that what you're doing here, think of the farmers, is fantastic. And there is an abuse right now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So there's no way you can interpret it to intervene in the rice price markets.
I think we mentioned
7581.
we will look into it, sir. But sa price tag
Thank-
po naman, tama po yung DTI na yung bigas po
Sa inyo.
sa amin. Ang mahalaga lang pong pero may conditions po kasi yung kung kailan po tayo pwedeng maglagay ng price ceiling.
Yan ang problema eh. Kasi
Yun po yung conditions na yun.
Nga nangyari, yung bawas nangyari sa labas.
Oo. Hindi bawas eh, hindi naman paakyat.
Pero Mr.
Hindi.
Chair, pero sana tingnan ding maigi. Dahil sobrang-sobra na, Mr. Chair, ang paghihirap ng mga kababayan natin. At ngayon, kahit sinong Pilipino ang tanongin ninyo, walang maniniwala na walang sabwatan, walang sindikato, at walang kartel. Ngayon, Mr. Chair, baka pwede tanungin natin ang mga wholesaler, ang mga retailer at mga importer kung may alam sila sa sabwatan o kaya sa sindikato o kaya sa kartel. Kung sasabihin nilang wala silang alam, sooner or later malalaman ng quinta committee ito kung meron ba talagang kartel o wala. Pag napatunayan natin meron sabwatan o kartel na nagaganap, marapat lamang na panagutin natin ang mga taong ito. Dahil sobra-sobra na ang kanilang pagyayaman, pagpapayaman sa kabila ng paghihirap ng mga maralitang mga Pilipino. Kaya Mr. Chair, possible ba na tanungin natin sila kung may alam sila isa-isa? Itong mga wholesaler, mga importer at mga retailer. Although kahapon mayroong isang retailer na nagsabi na wala daw kartel. Sino ba naman loko-loko na magsasabi na may kartel? Sila ang nakikinabang dyan. Sila ang kumikita, sila ang nagiging bilyonaryo. Kaya possible ba, Mr. Chair, na tanungin natin isa-isa? Who knows? Baka mamaya merong umamin dyan. At pwede nating gawing state witness laban doon sa mga sindikato na naglalamang sa ating mga kapwa Pilipino.
Sir, kaso puro importers lang yun nandito eh.
Oh, yes. As of now, pwede, Mr. Chair, kahit sa mga importers na muna. And hopefully, our next committee hearing, we could ask the retailer and the wholesaler.
Mr. Chairman,
Ang nandi dito na pinaka-feasible, sir, is that one of the conditions is prevalence of widespread acts of illegal price manipulation.
Mr. Chairman,
That could be a condition for the SRP. Yes, sir.
with the permission of Congressman Amante, please.
Yes.
Gusto ko lang po malaman yung pong lahat po ba ng mga importers na narito kahapon
Hindi naman nag-increase.
ay present po ba lahat today,
No problem.
Mr. Chairman?
8 of the 10 are here.
Gusto ko pong malaman yung dahilan doon po sa dalawang hindi nakarating kung ano ho yung kanilang
Are they here na?
dahilan.
And Anna, can you stand up and recite the names?
Yung missing na lang.
Sino ba yung missing? Please stand up once called.
Sir, yesterday from Bulgari Venture, we have Miss Jeannie Tan. I believe she's here as well. Also Miss Irene
Wait,
Casino.
Jenny Tan, please stand up.
And Miss Irene Casino,
Eileen
From-
Casino.
Bly Agri Adventure. I believe they're here again.
They're all there. Umuwi na ata.
Sir, the pages can locate them po.
Sige, diretso.
For River Valley,
Andyan.
yesterday, Attorney Irene Chu was
Can you,
here,
would you
and
like
she's
to
also
ask
here
him?
now.
Can you come over? The question is very simple. Nag-out na sila. So, how much did you make from every kilo of rice you imported?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, with regard to the profit margin, I cannot give the specific detail, but the client is selling at 41 right now.
Your?
Si RVDI po, yung selling price is at 41, papuntang wholesaler po.
41 going to wholesaler.
Mr. Chairman, may pending request po kasi kahapon si Congressman Biolago. Yun pong hinihingi niya na buying rate nila from Vietnam.
iniisa-isa po na.
Okay po. Thank you po, Mr. Chairman.
Pero Mr. Chair, hindi ba natin sila pwedeng tanungin? Baka sakaling meron silang alam kung meron ba talagang cartel o wala. Since wawalo lang naman sila.
Meron ba?
Sa amin po wala.
Siguraduhin nyo lang, Mama. Sooner or later, malalaman natin kung meron o wala. Ay, yung ibang nandito ngayon, yung 7.
Wait, so we can have this really. Si Kawa and your mother, can you please come over? Ma'am, okay lang po. Ma'am Iligan, how much do you make for every kilo you import?
Good afternoon, everybody. Hindi ko alam kung magkano kita ko, basta as long as nagbebenta ko every day. Anong kita sa everyday o yearly?
Magkano kuha mo? Magkano?
Mr. Chair, actually hindi yung presyo ang tanong ko eh. Kung meron bang sindikato dito, kaya patuloy na tumataas ang presyo. Baka mamaya.
Ang hirap naman na kasama mo ba kayo sa sindikato?
Hindi ko alam kung may sindikato. Kasi matanda na ako eh. Bakit mag-sindikato pa ako?
What I mean, Mr. Chair.
May I yield the chairmanship to the more
And then, Mr. Chair, ang ibig ko sabihin, baka kaya tumataas ang presyo, merong binabayaran sa mga ilang ahensya, merong mga pinagdadaanan ganito, sa buwatan. Ayun lang naman ang ibig ko sabihin. Baka
Wala.
meron ng nag-uusap-usap dito.
Sorry, wala talaga.
Ayun po, ma'am. Yun lang naman po. Yes or no lang naman po yung gusto
No.
naman.
Walang akong binigyan kahit piso kung sino-sino.
Yes. May kasunod po, ma'am of RBS.
Mr. Chair, remember, she's under oath.
Yes, we understand. No.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, very short lang. From RBS, those the gentle lady from Cagayan de Oro.
Yes, hi.
Where's your port of entry, ma'am?
Cagayan de Oro. We do in container, so it's in Tagoloan. And for bulk shipments, we do in the Makabalan port.
And that was I was saying to the chairman earlier. Because Taguluan port, we built when I was still mayor of Taguluan. And during the Quadcom, it was mentioned several times for drug shipment. Now for rice, again, it's a suspect. And yeah, I will get to the bottom of this in the next hearings. But thank you for the answer.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Bambi. Thank you, ma'am. Miss Jeannie, baka po yung katanungan po ni Congressman Amante. Miss Jeannie, sa Bulacan po kayo based?
Hindi, Cagayan de Oro din. Under BLY Agriventure Trading. Port of Cagayan de Oro.
And you don't use Taguluan port?
Sometimes. Yung
Sabi ko na nga ba,
container.
Mr. Chair, Taguluan port na naman ulit. Oh.
Hindi. Karamihan ng shipment namin ay bulk. So, nasa Cagayan de Oro yung port, Makabalan port. Later, hindi na kami nag-container dahil nga sa yung mga charges na demorahe kasi matagal magpalabas, 5 days lang yung free namin sa storage. Ano pa?
Mr. Chair, if I may ask, ba't matagal lumabas? Ba't matagal lumabas yung container banking?
Idea. Dahil dadaan pa yan eh.
Is it the
Dadalhin
process
pa sa
or
NIA.
talagang matagal yung BOC mag-clear?
Actually, minsan, most of the time, yung DEA ang nakaka-delay. Dahil yung sa custom kasi, yung ano nila, pag yellow, okay na, hindi na dadaan ng yellow. Pag orange at saka red, idadaan talaga yan sa orange at saka red. Dadaan yan sa DEA dahil idaan sa X-ray. Yung most of the time sira yung ano nila, yung equipment. Kaya nga lately puro bulk na kami yung
Sige po.
barko.
Ma'am
Oo.
Jeannie, anyway, sa katanungan po ni Congressman Amben Amante,
Yes po.
nasagot niyo naman po ito kahapon pero mas magandang madinig po niya sa inyo.
Mr. Chair, meron pa ako isang katanungan.
Sige po.
Paano nila na-evaluate kung itong container na to ay yellow, orange, or whatever color it is?
Yes.
Yung custom ang managot dyan.
Sige po, si Ascom Jet. Can you please answer the
Yes.
query?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, meron po kaming tinatawag na risk management system. It's a computer program na meron po kaming fixed parameters na nilalagay. Dalawa pong klase ng parameters. Meron pong fixed parameters. May parameters po na flexible, which is being approved by the Commissioner of Customs. This is being managed by our intelligence group and our risk management office. Yung data po papasok doon, tapos pag nag-lodge po yung ating mga importer ng data nila, i-analyze po ng system yan. At itatag po yan kung red, orange, yellow, and green. Pag green po, up lahat na examination flag. Hindi na po dadaan sa puerto yan, no? Tuloy-tuloy na po lalabas yan. In fact, yung document niyan, ibabalik nyo na lang po nakalabas na yung kargamento. Pag yellow po, document examination lang. Pag may nakitang hindi consistent sa document, saka po i-recommend for physical examination. Orange, scanning po, x-ray lang po. Red naman po, yun yung sinasabi ni ma'am na kailangan dalhin sa ating mga designated examination areas para mag-conduct po ng physical examination.
Ayun nga, Mr. Chair, parang medyo yun ang nakakatakot. Yun ang sinasabi kong sabwatan eh. Hindi kaya baka mamaya meron sa mga empleyado ng custom ng nababayaran para maging instead na orange ang color, nagiging green para wala na examination ang nagaganap.
Yes, Ascom Jet, paki-clarify nga po doon.
Yun lang sir, yung pagdating ko kasi sa food products, no, under the Food Safety Act, tinatag po talaga siya as red. So either orange lang po yan or red. So lahat po ng kargamento ng bigas, dumadaan po yan sa x-ray examination. Either x-ray, scanning examination po namin or physical examination po.
Okay, Mr. Chair. Pero Mr. Chair, tapos na ba lahat ng mga yung mga baka pwedeng tapusin yung
Yes, yung representative
Yes,
from
Torno na lang.
Si King B. King B, kayo lang po nandito? Wala po si Sir?
Andito po sir yung husband ko pa. Mostly po kasi ako nakakaalam po na
Sige po. Sige po.
wala din
Yes.
pong sabwatan sa amin sa regarding sa customs or any anomaly po.
Yes, anyone else? Vikram is here? Wala. Wala si Vikram. Do we have Davao Solar Best Corporation? Sir.
That's the 8. Mr. Chair, wala rin, hindi rin po.
Ang port of entry nila, Mr. Chair, ng mga produkto nila.
Port of entry po ninyo, sir?
Port of entry po, Mr. Chair, is Davao City. And General Santos City po.
Okay. We have G4. You have not taken your oath, Mr. David.
Can you stand up and please administer the oath?
Pakitaas po ang kanang kamay. Ako, pakisabi po ang pangalan. Ay nanunumpa na magsasabi ng katotohanan, buong katotohanan, at pawang katotohanan lamang
Pawang katotohanan lang.
sa harap ng kapulungang ito
Sa harap ng kapulungang ito
ng pagsisiyasat.
ng pagsisiyasat.
Yes, Mr. David, pwedeng sagutin yung katanungan ni
Mr. Chair, wala
Congressman
din po.
Aman?
No po.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, pwede bang isa pa? Question? Since kanina na-bypass naman ako, kanina hindi mo ako tinawag. Hindi ako naalis, nandun lang ako sulok. Anyway, Mr. Chair, nais ko lang susugan yung palubog na sinasabi kanina, kahapon, ni Congressman Nicky Briones. Mr. Chair, yung request ni Congressman Nicky Briones, yung mga barko na dumadating, yung mga MB na pangalan, meron na ba tayong kopya nun? O yung mga nagparating?
Jet, di ba lahat yan nasa IASC?
Yes, Mr. Chair. We'll i-provide po namin ngayon, sir.
Can
Hinihingi ko
you
lang po yung
provide
complete
us
details.
with all the ships? Ilang months gusto mo?
Yes, Mr. Chair, kasi napaka-importante din yan eh. Kasi baka mamaya, yung barko na supposedly, halimbawa lang, 10,000 sacks lang yung ipinarating, pero yung barko na dumating, ang capacity ay mga 50,000 sacks, medyo kaduda-duda yan. So, dapat doon, ma-evaluate natin kung merong tingin natin ay may anomalya. At Mr. Chair, kung kinakailangan, baka possible na magkaroon tayong mga surprise visit sa mga port area, lalo tigit sa Limay Bataan, gawin natin para makita natin ang actual. At ayun lamang po, Mr. Chair, at nais ko rin pong ipaalala sa lahat po ng mga national agencies na narito ngayon, na dapat lagi tayong may sense of urgency. Dahil alam naman natin, napaka-importante na trabaho natin sa ating gobyerno at lalo tigit kung ito ay involve ang ating mga maralitang mga Pilipino. Yun lang po, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat po.
So, Jet, is the IAC downloadable?
We can, yes, Your Honor, and we can select certain parameters. So
Is there a link?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, that's only customs can actually manipulate the.
Manipulate. What a word.
What we mean is we can select the data that needs to be extracted. So maybe we can give you the list of the ships that arrived in the port of Limay. If you can just give us the actual dates that are covered, Your Honor.
At this point, may I recognize, of course,
Mr.
Congresswoman
Chair.
Castro. Thank you very much for being here.
Mr. Chair, if may I
Yes.
just
Jane Castro po.
Jane Castro.
since
Second District of Cap.
we have asked the importers, magandang katanungan kanina, may I just follow up on the question? Baka pwedeng matanong na rin, Mr. Chair, para hindi na paulit-ulit. May I know from G4 kung familiar ba kayo sa practice na kung saan yung gumagamit kayo ng ibang mga kumpanya, you finance the shipment but using different licenses. Meron ba kayong ganon?
Mr. Chair, wala po.
Okay, pero may alam kayo within the importing community na may gumagawa ng ganyan?
Wala din po, Mr. Chair.
Wala. Okay, so wala rin kayong naririnig na may gumagamit ng maraming mga dummies din?
Rumors lang po pero
Sorry?
rumors po. Naririnig po pero hindi po hindi ko po
Imposible. Okay, sir. Okay, you're under oath, sir, Sige. Anyway, sige, may I ask River Valley, Miss Irene?
Mr. Chair, di po kami nagpapagamit ng license.
Yes, I know. But are you familiar that there is such a practice?
No, we're not po.
So, okay. Same with Miss Jeannie?
Yes po. Wala akong alam. Kasi sa akin, pangalan ko lang.
Opo, pero may naririnig po kayo na...
Sa port namin, wala kami naririnig na ganyan.
Pero wala pong kailanman nangyari o nadinig kayo na ganun, may...
Wala akong narinig. Kasi
ganun
sa
system.
amin, kami lang naman eh.
Sige po, si Ma'am Cruz.
Wala din po, sir. Wala po kong naririnig.
Ma'am Corazon?
Sa Iligan, wala. Wala akong
Wala po kayong
narinig doon.
naririnig. Oh. Kahit sa Maynila, hindi ho na sa Iligan.
Wala din kasi ang taga-Iligan ako, taga Mindanao.
Ma'am? Si Sir...
Mr. Chair, wala din po.
Sige po. Anyway, I will reserve my questions for later. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask additional question? If it's okay?
Yung iba kasi kanina pa nag-antay. Okay lang ba sa'yo? Wilton Parma? Yes, sir. No more question? Okay.
Thank you.